It's time for a revolution. It's time for the Divas Revolution. Basically, they have a huge match at SummerSlam 2015. I think when everybody saw the Divas debuting, when we had the debut of Monday Night Raw, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, all at the same time when Stephanie McMahon brought them out, I think everybody knew that they were building to some sort of a gang warfare like they're getting right here at SummerSlam 2015. We've got Team Bella, we've got Team B.A.D, and we've got Team PCB. Everybody knows about the submission sorority name that Paige, Becky, and Charlotte had for 1 week before basically word got back to WWE that someone had already staked claim to the submission sorority name, and it was bad publicity for WWE. How they don't run these people's names that they come up with through some sort of a Google or anything to figure out what's going on. I have no clue. I don't know if it was a big surprise to them about CJ Parker. Of course, that was Pamela Anderson's name on Baywatch back in the day. I don't know if that was planned or if that just was something that snuck through the cracks. And then they ended up coming up with that. But, or was it? It was CJ, right? It wasn't PJ. Whatever it was, I heard the guy just gave up wrestling. He retired and he's moving into a different field. So my hat's off to that guy. I really wished him the best of luck when he left NXT after the Kevin Owens match. And he said that he was going to go out and he was going to show the world how good of a wrestler he was. And I guess he found other interests to do outside of WWE. But in this match, this is going to be a good one. I mean, Nikki Bella is closing in on becoming the longest reigning champion of all time, even though she hasn't really been defending the belt in the past few weeks because of this whole Divas Revolution. We've seen her lose matches to Charlotte. We've seen her lose matches to Sasha Banks. And here we are in another non-championship match as well. Hopefully this is able to crown some sort of a #1 contender. Maybe we can find out who the true leaders of these groups are. When I look at, PCB, Paige comes first. She's the veteran. She easily looks like, she's the leader of her team. When you look at Team B.A.D, sometimes it's Naomi, sometimes it's Sasha. Both of these girls, the cream rises to the top, and I think Sasha is going to be the leader over time. Tamina is easily the weakest link of this whole match, but this is going to be a good one. When the word came down this was going to be a elimination tag match, I thought this was a match that was going to be some sort of a joke, because when you have 9 girls, if it comes down to one sole survivor, when the longest possible match is that we have 8 falls, and when you have an 8 falls Divas match like we've had with Survivor Series matches in the past, it ends up just turning into a finisher fest where, a girl hits her finisher, gets a victory, walks and turns around and gets hit with somebody else's finisher, and it's just pin after pin after pin. And it is sort of fun to see that many finishers in a row, but when it's inside of a match and the girl's fresh and she gets hit with one move, it just sort of takes you out of what is going on. I think that honestly, when it comes down to this, I've seen PCB, they've been getting a lot of wins on Raw and SmackDown. I've been seeing, Team B.A.D, they got the victory over Nikki. The Bellas right now, I know that they're the champions. I know that Nikki gets to walk out with the belt week after week, but it seems like they're just getting kicked around in the dirt. So I wouldn't be surprised if, that this is the way of them, sort of giving it to Nikki for becoming the longest reigning Divas champion of all time. I think that she's 20 days away or something close to that, so I don't really see her losing the championship if it's not on an actual pay-per-view like Night of Champions. So it looks like that she's going to take the reign of AJ. Some people say that's a knock on CM Punk. Some people say it's a knock on AJ herself. I think it just happened. It just is what it is. You can tell when they brought these girls up, maybe it wasn't exactly what they had in mind. I think that maybe most people thought organically Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky were going to be brought up one by one, but bringing them up all at one time really did change the face of the Divas division. I know there's been word, Sasha Banks in an interview where she's basically was told by the agents in the back, the producers, whatever you want to call them, that she needs to start wrestling like a diva instead of wrestling like a wrestler, I guess you can say. I hope they don't change these girls, because honestly, maybe you have to change your style if you get into the ring with a one of the girls who don't really work all that well, Alana or a Summer Rae. Not to really pick on anybody, but I think that, what's really got them to the peak is being a wrestler. Becky Lynch, Paige, Charlotte. These girls know how to work. They know how to have great matches. And, Naomi's one hell of an athlete. The Bellas have been really improved. Alicia Fox has been a staple of the roster for a long time. Tamina is Tamina, but, I'm really pumped about what's been going on with the Divas division. If you look at Monday Night Raw, we had a great match of, Becky Lynch was in there. Then we had the Sasha versus Nikki match. Every week we have some sort of a different combination of things going down, and maybe one way or another we find some way to have a tournament to determine the number one contender. We actually get to see a Charlotte wrestle a Becky inside of WWE. I don't know if they're saving that for somewhere down the road, but these alliances have to have matches. I'm not saying that they have to break up, but with DX, Shawn Michaels wrestled Triple H. Shawn Michaels, no, not Shawn Michaels. It was X-Pac against Triple H. They had matches because they had to improve their ranking inside of WWE. I think they fought in an Intercontinental Championship tournament once on Monday Night Raw. It's just what you have to do sometimes to find out, what they're doing. At the end of the day, you're friends, but you got a job, and that job is trying to become champion. So maybe we can do some sort of thing to switch this up. I want to pick PCB in this match, Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch, because of the fact that they've been going so strong as of late. But honestly, I think I talked myself into picking the Bellas for the fact that they really haven't won a lot of matches as of late. So maybe they'll get the one at SummerSlam to pick this team up out of the dirt.